Resto Shaman goodness, Totemic today. We're gonna try out this build. There's a couple of builds floating about. I feel like you can absolutely play Downpour as well. I'm trying out without Downpour today, just to see how Totemic is gonna feel. I've been testing a lot of the healers. Actually, I've tested every single healer so far, but not every single hero build. And that kind of leaves Farseer for me as well. I want to check out Farseer a bit more. But Totemic has been... I would say it's been fine. I would say it's been fine. Oh, I forgot to apply Earth Shield. My bad, my bad. The first boss in this encounter is the only boss that actually does something, that has hands. Every other boss in this encounter, in this... I'm linking straight away, bro. Oh, he bloodlusted, my lad. Again, we're playing Totemic, so Surging Totem is the emphasis. I'm gonna stun... I shouldn't have stunned these. Emphasis of the whole thing. The reason I'm playing Totemic is because I've tested a lot of Totemic Shaman in Raid. And I found Totemic Shaman in Raid to be pretty good for the amount of effort you're putting in. Stormstream Totem proc. You have to remember, the Apex stance for Resto Shaman. Riptide has a chance of proccing Stormstream, which is basically another free totem. Remember, that totem actually shoots out chain heals. Remember lively totems for Resto Shaman, for Totemic? It works, or at least it seems to be working with Stormstream, so that's additional free chain heals. Also, with, okay, Stormstream procced again, you can see my chain heal popping out because of lively totems, because of how Totemic works. Your tier set for Resto Shaman is all about Unleashed Life. Unleashed Life is back. I know it's not fans' favorite, but the tier set makes it that the initial heal is stronger, that it buffs 2 additional, or in total it buffs 2 abilities. So if I press my Unleashed Life, I have 2 abilities that are being buffed. And also the initial heal is increased as well. So it feels a little bit like... Yes, we're going left. I also got my Poison Cleansing Totem. For the people who don't remember this bossy boss, do you remember the little ads that spawn? Ooh, they're spicy. You never really want to have Healing Stream Totems doing nothing. You always want to use up the charges, right? So they're coming off cooldown. Look at my new frames as well, it looks pretty. Alright, the thing about Totemic is that I do think... Okay, so the damage is not gonna start yet. I'm gonna use my totems, I'm gonna use Healing Stream Totem. Damage starting right now. I'm using my Unleashed Life. The ads are being... I have my other Healing Stream Totem. I'm gonna use my Ascendance for this one. And then hopefully Healing Stream Totem coming back up. Again, Ascendance is way different. Riptide, I can chain heal. Riptide, chain heal. You can see Ascendance is completely and utterly reworked. I need to use my Poison Cleansing Totem on my... I didn't use my Unleashed Life because... Oh, he might... Okay, he didn't die. It's really rough on tanks here, man. I'll be honest with you. It's really rough on tanks. I don't have my Unleashed Life. I can't really press anything. I gotta use my... I'm gonna save my Spirit Link. The guy has 2 stacks. Oh, my keybind is different. The Hunter did not clear, man. Strats. Healing Stream. Oh, I would love... Unleash Life. Yes. Clear. Make sure to clear it. Oh my goodness. If we didn't clear it, this would have been spicy. Dude, I've just changed my keybind for Spirit Link. I need to use... I don't have... He might die as well here. Let's see. Like I said, this boss is by far the most stressful here. Every other boss is a Kekaruni. I have my Ascendance ready almost. At the end of the day with Totemic, you want... I try to let my... Oh, Stormstream proc. At the end of the day, I try to let my... I have Ascendance here. I try to let my totems do most of the chain healing. I think I hard casted Chain Heal here to oath. Poison Cleansing. Healing Stream. Let's go, baby. I'm not used to, or how do I say this? I'm not really that great with pressing Unleash Live with the new... I kind of feel like I need additional notifications. I don't know, it's just something that I need to get used to it. We're trying out the new UI, we're trying a bunch of new different add-ons. Something I definitely could work on. I feel like that was... I feel like I misplayed that a little bit. Riptide Chain Heal, 8,000 from Riptide, and you can see my Healing Stream totem was 12,000 HPS. Storm Stream did not proc. Like, I had really... It did proc, but I had really bad procs here. I feel like my Storm Stream ends up doing a lot more healing generally. I feel like I had pretty average procs here. Which, again, it's one of those things where people might be like, hey, my healing felt a little bit different because I got the procs at weird times or whatever. So it's a bit of that, but at the end of the day, when it procs, like the proc buff lasts quite a bit, and I don't like, how do I say this? People have been really down about Resto Shaman lately, or for the beta in general, because of, like, you know, the randomness. There's the RNG aspects to Storm Stream. Oh, people just took damage here. Storm Stream. There's an RNG to Storm Stream. I've tested every single healer, and in terms of the Apex talents, they could have easily made Storm Stream have a guaranteed way of proccing. Because they did the exact same concept to Mistweaver Monk and Preservation Evoker Apex talents, where those talents have a random proc chance, but also by pressing certain ability, you're going to guarantee proc it. And I feel like they could have easily done that for Resto Shaman, but they decided not to. Oh, the guy stepped in this stuff, so... So I feel like there could have been ways of improving it, but... Man, Resto Shaman in Midnight, this version of Totemic Resto Shaman, it screams Season 2, The War Within gameplay. I don't know how many people play Totemic in Season 2 of The War Within, but it's somewhat like that, right? But now you have even more passive healing because you have Stormstream Totem. You have to remember, when you proc your Unleash Life, let's say I have 2 charges right now, if I proc my, or use my Healing Stream Totem, it's going to use up a charge, it's going to be buffed. In a similar way that I said, if I proc my Stormstream Totem, that Stormstream Totem is also going to shoot out Chain Heals, because with Totemic you have lively totems, and then you have Split Stream, which used to be called Reactivity, which empowers your Healing Stream Totem as well. So basically, in hindsight, if you're looking for a healer that, how do I say this? You can focus on other things. You can focus on mechanics. I need to heal. He's gonna die. That bleed was nasty. We're back to this boss. We have Stormstream Totem. Let's go. A lot of passive healing right now. We're gonna Bloodlust during the AoE phase, I guess, or the burn phase. So I've been kind of thinking about whether I like this build or not, or whether how do I enjoy Resto Shaman, because it's a hot button discussion. There's a lot of people who have been telling me in my YouTube comments that they destroyed Resto Shaman to a complete extent and they're re-rolling. I don't really... Again, I'm not really happy with some of the changes, but honestly, like, if you like this passive gameplay, if you play Totemic in Season 2, it's not really all that crazy. You're relying on your totems, your Surging Totem, your Healing Stream Totem. Now you rely also on Stormstream Totem, you have Unleash Life, which feels better because of the tier set, because the tier set makes Unleash Life, again, it affects 2 abilities, the initial heal is stronger. I'm not sure what's going to happen to Unleash Life once the tier set is gone in Season 2, and then maybe it's going to go back to, you know, that's one of my things that you need to consider, or I would like Blizzard to consider how abilities feel after borrowed power is gone. Is that all 3? Let's bloody Bloodlust. Healer damage still feels really weak. I've tested every single healer. I don't think there was one healer that, or at least there's disparity between healer DPS, but in terms of the overall group's contribution, healer DPS is not really it. which again, another hot button discussion. Some players want healers to contribute a bit more damage, some players don't. I like healer damage. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I like when when you press a DPS button and it feels like you're contributing something. But I also know that sometimes when healer damage matters a lot and there's a big disparity between healers, the best healer becomes the one that can do the most damage, like in Shadowlands. And that is, in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense when the best healer is the one that does the most damage, right? At least that's the way I like to think. But I'm someone who enjoys healer damage and I don't shy away from it. I try to do as much damage as possible. Of course, oh, he might die. Of course, you're a healer in the War Within and in Midnight. It's one of those things where make sure everyone is safe before you do any sort of DPS, because healer contribution still doesn't seem all that amazing. I'd love to know your opinions about this. Genuinely love to know your opinions. How do you feel about that? Because a lot of people have mixed opinions about this. But Totemic Resto Shaman, the new tier set, passive healing. I think a lot of people who play Totemic in the War Within, they're coming back into Midnight. You're not gonna be like, whoa, this is like a brand new healer. Because you have to remember, in Mythic Plus, in Season 2, you didn't play Cloudburst Totem. So you're not even gonna miss the loss of Cloudburst Totem because, well, in Raid was a different story. I miss Cloudburst Totem. I wish there was a way to maybe have an option of playing Cloudburst Totem or not, but I think a lot of people, okay, Stormstream Totem proc, I think a lot of people, or there's going to be a portion of people who are just going to really enjoy this passive playstyle. They're going to chill with it. And maybe they're not gonna go on websites and say like, oh, they destroyed my shaman, they destroyed everything about it, I hate it so much, right? I feel like there is a silent portion of the community that is really excited for some of the shaman changes. I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I don't like all the changes, but I can also see that some of the new players coming into World of Warcraft, they'll be like, you know what, I can play Resto Shaman. I don't even have to have the best raid frames. I'm not that raid frame dependent. Like if you play a Resto Druid or something, you're a lot more raid frame dependent. And if the add-ons don't, if the UI doesn't really sort itself out, it can be a little bit annoying playing it. I've heard a lot of this in the last couple of weeks where players are talking about, oh hey, I don't want to play this healer because I don't like the raid frames, but I feel it's gonna get better. I feel like it's gonna get, we're skipping this. Skipping. Let's go. Let's go. Surging Totem. I need to interrupt. I forgot, boys. We need to do some interrupts. After all, we're the only healer in the whole World of Warcraft that has an interrupt. Man, I missed Thunderstorm. I missed the knockup. I'll be honest with you. I really miss it. Like in these moments. Riptide, instant chain heal. Healing Stream Totem. We're doing some damage. They also removed Master of the Elements, so there's actually even less reason to press Lava Burst. Or at least, sorry, in the War Within, pressing Lava Burst with Master of the Elements gave you a HPS buff, basically. So you were DPSing and increasing your healing because of that. That's kind of gone. It's no longer here. Stormstream! I tell you, there are certain fights with Resto Shaman where if I get Stormstream, I have multiple stacks of Healing Stream. I just press those totems and it's over. Like, I'm going to get through that healing portion just because of totems. That's it. Like, just totems alone are going to heal up and everything's going to be fine. I need to heal. Healing Stream. You have to remember, the chain heals that come from totems, I'm interrupting. The chain heals that come from totems are also giving you Coalescing Waters, because I am playing Coalescing Waters talent, so that means that it empowers my Riptides. So think about this. You have Storm Stream, you have Healing Stream, you have Surging Totem, you have Lively Totem's talent from Totemic, which shoots out chain heals, which also works with Storm Stream Totem, which is the new Apex talent. You have Earth Living, which Earth Living accounts for. There's talents that give you higher chance of getting Earth Living. So Earth Living was absolutely popping off in Raid. I'll show you the healing breakdown later on. And then you look at all of those and combine it, and a lot of your healing is coming down from just pressing totems, right? And then everything else is in between. How do you use your Unleash life buffs? Because of the tier set. And then depending on the build, maybe you're gonna run Downpour. I've seen a couple of people running Downpour having a good amount of success with that as well. I think Downpour build could be interesting. I've ran a little bit of Farseer, but I haven't tested enough Farseer to be like, oh hey, I prefer this build, or hey, I think this is better, or whatever. So I haven't decided yet. I basically tested every single healer, but not every single build. And I can tell you that based on I'm gonna stun here. I can tell you that based on my testing, Shaman feels, or Totemic Resto Shaman feels fine. It's not the best of the healers, but it's also not the worst of the healers. They're better. Oh, I just literally got doubled. I'm gonna reincarnate. Bolt slop. I wish I had my weak order that tells me if I'm targeted by something. Or I should have used the interrupt. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how many people have been testing stuff, but every single time I enter a dungeon, my cooldown manager swaps positions. My cooldown manager, like my interrupt is supposed to be here, my flame shock is supposed to be here. Every single time. So then I have to like relearn the cooldown manager positions. I don't know, maybe I feel like the reload fixes, but if I reload, I think my healing meters disappear, so I'm a bit of a doozy. When I said bolt slop type of thing, there's actually less interrupts. You can feel there's less interrupts to do than it used to be. Believe me, it's not as bad as you might think, but I do wish I would have that weak order that tells me, hey, you're targeted by this cast, so, or someone else is being targeted by some cast, so I feel like, okay, I'm gonna start or pop a defensive on them or something along those lines. I miss that. I'll be honest with you. I miss that quite a bit. Oh, he might die. What the hell? He has 2 debuffs. Full arcane power against me. I've definitely noticed there's less interrupts to do, so it's not as bad as, like, imagine doing Priory. Oh, I need to heal. Imagine doing Priory with that, with all the, like, you know, healers losing interrupts, the add-on issues, or some of the UI issues. Oh, I got Stormstream. Reducing Stormstream and Healing Stream. I don't have to do anything. So there's definitely these moments. There's definitely these moments with Resto Shaman, with Totemic Resto Shaman, where I'm like, hey, I got Stormstream. I got Stormstream, I got Healing Stream totems. They're all rolling right now. I don't really have to press anything, depending on the key level. Again, this is level 15, which is technically the highest you can get on the beta. Obviously, you can push keys higher, but these are the key levels that you get on the beta, so I'm not sure what keys are gonna feel like if you're reaching like an extremely high key level. This has to be, in my opinion, one of the worst and most boring bosses in the game. Bloodlust. I think this boss has too much HP. And you can absolutely die in this boss, don't get me wrong, man. But in terms of, it sounds a little bit weird, but I wish this boss would do more damage to the party, so I would have to heal more. So it wouldn't be such a boring quest. Is that weird to say? Because look at the damage intake on this boss compared to the first boss or something. It's a joke, right? It's kind of a joke. Unless you stand in bad stuff, which I'm really great at, by the way. So, I need to test a bit more Farseer. I need to check out how Farseer is going to do. I did test out Resto Shaman in Raid, and I did prefer Totemic in Raid. I thought the amount of healing Totemic was able to do for the amount of effort you put in was really, really freaking high. Um, I'm not sure what the best build is going to be for Resto Shaman. There's still a bunch of time left in terms of what hero build is going to be strong. Oh, I asked for healing, and healing we get. I asked for it. Of course, in season 3 of The War Within, it was all about Farseer. I really enjoyed Farseer. I thought that it was a breath of fresh air when you were playing Totemic in season 2, in season 1, and then you went to Farseer. And I was like, this is such a different gameplay. It was really nice, a little bit of a mixture, right? Overall, I've said this like throughout the video as well. I would say Shaman feels fine. Totemic Shaman feels fine. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the worst. I think there's healers that are better than Resto Shaman, and I think there's healers that are worse than Resto Shaman. Totemic Resto Shaman, nothing new about the passive gameplay. Or like, it's still passive. The niche of totems is still there. The niche of passive healing. You might have to do a couple of different things with Unleash Life. We'll have to see with the fillers and how the fillers are gonna work and all those things, but the basic idea is here. You have totems. Totems are powerful. They're passive. And if you look at the overall, oh, this was overall healing. So I didn't have it set on current. So this was overall healing for the whole fight, and this was current segment. Overall segment, Riptide, 7,000 HPS. Chain heal, I barely ever hardcasted chain heals. This is all coming from lively totems. Earth Living Weapon. Earth Living Weapon absolutely is a beast in Raid. And that is because Healing Stream Totem and Healing Tide Totem, healing has a 20% chance to apply Earth Living to allies it heals. So, because I also run Healing Tide Totem in Raid. So, let me see. This is the overall. This is the overall. So, 7,000 Riptide. Stormstream Totem accounted for 4,000. So there is a lot of, of course, you have to remember the healing breakdown. If you were playing Farseer, would be way different. What's carrying or what's helping a lot in terms of passive healing is Split Stream. This used to be called Reactivity. This is helping a lot. And there's a couple of other builds with Downpour. I think Downpour build could actually be really nice. I'm gonna try out Farseer later on. But my first overall summary, if you're looking for a passive healer, again, I said this actually a couple of times. I don't hate passive healing. I actually don't hate this gameplay. I could see myself playing this. I know it's passive. I enjoyed Totemic in season 2, which was again extremely passive, especially when it comes to that Mythic Plus content. So I don't hate passive healing. I think it can be chill. I know there's going to be people who are gonna agree or disagree with this, but if you're looking for a passive healer, Resto Shaman Totemic is going to be the #1 pick for you. And based on the power so far, again, I don't want to talk about the power too much because the power is going to change from week to week to week. But Shaman felt fine. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. But you also have to remember, look at the Shaman utility. You still have your Sky Fury buff. You still have Bloodlust. You still have the only healer with an interrupt. Again, the interrupt is longer, it's 30 seconds, but there is still a decent amount of utility or a good amount of utility the Shaman provides. So depending on how it fits into that Mythic Plus group, you don't necessarily have to be the best HPS healer to be meta, but we're not talking about meta. This is very, very early on. But all I'm saying is that Shaman doesn't have to be the HPS beast because the utility can account for some of it. It also depends on how the dungeons are going to be tuned as well, but we'll see. Let me know how you feel about Resto Shaman.